Hey guys, welcome to my channel. I am the Ghoastronaut and this is my first ever gaming video on YouTube. I enjoy playing games such as KSP and thought to myself that I should make some videos of it too. And I've been watching some videos for some time now, lots and lots of those videos, and decided to do this. So I also enjoy playing other games. Some, for example, Among Us has been really popular lately, and I enjoy playing it on my phone. And I was thinking I could make some of those videos also, and maybe some others like CS:GO or PUBG. But I tried to live stream previously, and it did not go as planned, mostly because of my PC and or probably my internet. I wasn't sure. Anyhow, for my first video, I did not have much plan, but a brief intro to my channel, which I am doing right now. And I built this rocket a while back and recorded the very first flight I'm showing to you guys to Minmus. And yeah, I recently started my career mode again, and I already unlocked half of the science tree, which makes it easier to go to Minmus and Moon. Well, I also did like one interplanetary trip, which was to Duna, and one of the Kerbals got stuck there, so I was planning to do a rescue mission soon. Well, basically for this video, this rocket that I made was quite some time now. I'm not really sure, but I've been editing it. So yeah, this rocket consists of 3 stages. One which is for the liftoff, and there's one for the transfer from Kerbin, and one for the lander and the return. Well, what I'm planning to do in this mission is just a normal mission to Minmus, while I land there and then do some science, and I just come back with the science and as safely as I can for those little Kerbals that you can see at the bottom right of the screen. Well, here it goes for the second stage, and we'll be going into orbit now. Just waiting till it goes to the apoapsis, and then I will do another burn so I can go in full orbit. Here it goes. I just realized that after playing this, how easy it is to go to Minmus and Moon. This is really good for beginners. If you want to get lots of science points, just go for it. I know Moon actually is more difficult to land on because of the gravity. Minmus is easier to land on, but it's quite tricky, as you'll see in this video. If there's lots of bouncing, and if you don't find like a good flat surface, you will just be jumping here and there. It's really annoying. The trick is to just land on the salt flats, which you will see is like the big lake that looks like mint, and Kerbals actually mistake them for ice cream, and they eat them sometimes. So yeah, you should watch your Kerbals when you land there. That's such a nice view. At this point, you see the moon is directly just above the horizon, and we will use the same technique for Minmus. And after I've completed the burn, so I can reach full parking orbit, I usually try to go less than 100 kilometers. I don't have any uh, mods installed, so nothing to do with realism or anything. I just wish to do that in the future, maybe. I'm not sure right now. Some notes while we're waiting for part of the mission. I'm new to video editing, and I've been trying it since a few days now. And for gaming, this is my very first video. It is actually not that difficult, but not that easy also, and I'm learning lots of new things. One big thing is the screen recording. which I tried before. And as you can see, I cropped the video because I had a watermark on the software that I used. And I did some more research until I found a good software so I can record it. And secondly was the software to even edit it. I don't know if you guys have suggestions or anything that I could use. If you're watching this as someone who's made videos before, who's edited videos and recorded them, all of this would be really welcome. So for my voice, because I'm recording using my headset, which I usually use when I'm playing other games that I can talk on Discord. I deployed the fairing here, and now we have the rocket ready to set its trail to Minmus. Yeah, just have to align the orbits here. As you can see, my Kerbals actually, they are quite experienced, and I can easily select between the different maneuvers that I want to do. It's easier. So now I guess the orbits are aligned. I will just wait till Minmus will be on the horizon, which will be basically around this point on the right. So I'll just test it out with one maneuver here and see if it really reaches Minmus from this point if I do a burn here. That's how I always do it, even with when I'm traveling to other planets, unless I need some assistance from Moon or something when I'm going to the other planets. But this is how it usually works. I just try it out. I remember when I was playing again, I didn't upgrade anything at the KSC, so I had to decide myself when to do the burns so I can do like a moon flyby or something so I can get some science points and some money from the contracts. But this does it really easy and it's quite straightforward. You can just wait when the encounter is, yeah, it just gets smaller and smaller. Yeah, finally I have one encounter and just have to check then the periapsis. So I will just set it to the maneuver so I can do the burn when the time comes, and we'll just straight fast forward that till we reach that point. Well, I'm sure you have heard of Scott Mangley and his videos that he's made online about KSP. They are all really awesome. And I learned quite lots from his videos. One of them is um, I'm not exactly sure right now if it was from Scott Manley, but you just wait. If your burn is, for example, 10 seconds, you can do it at 5 seconds before you reach that point. That's that maneuver node. So you will do 5 seconds before and 5 seconds after. Well, unfortunately, in the game, you cannot really fast forward while the spaceship is under acceleration. So this is really sad. And maybe there's some mods that you can use to do that. I didn't try it out yet, but yeah, if you're playing the stock one, then I think you cannot really do that. So at this point, I will just throttle down because it's clearly on the way towards the path is on the way towards Minmus, and soon there will be an encounter, and I don't want to miss it because lots of time there's an overshoot, and then it will just go over it. Then I have to, like in a way, reverse my rocket, retrograde. Well, so now we have encounter, and we have a nice periapsis around Minmus. Well, at least desired one. Usually you can just do some burns while on your way, and you will just adjust your flight path then, and finally to get closer. And this way you might save lots in terms of your delta V that you have. So fast forward to this, and now we are just at the point where our maneuver node was, and we'll just do a burn and finally get in orbit around Minmus. I fast forwarded that also. And finally I have periapsis, and we're getting closer and closer to Minmus. It's really incredible how you can just warp time and in games. And when I don't know if you guys were watching the last, well, most likely you have been watching the last flight from SpaceX to the ISS, and how they have to wait for quite some time before they can dock because they have to get closer and closer to the ISS at a really slow rate. And usually I was thinking to myself, this in KSP would be done in just a few seconds because I would just warp time. And it's incredibly fun and crazy how we can do those things. That's the limit with video games. You actually have none. Unless with KSP you do have some because it's also a simulator. So we are in orbit of Minmus, and I will just adjust orbit a bit. This navigation yeah, navigation ball was in the way. So I just have to wait now until my path makes its way above the flat parts that you see, the darker green part, not the mountainous one. And yeah, I will just burn retrograde until I have a nice landing spot there. I believe there are some mods that will actually tell you where you're landing, where your encounter with the planet would be, so you can see exactly. Um, this one here, I have to use the map, and I can see the orbital path with the blue lines. So I will just do retrograde burn here until finally I have a nice landing spot, and that should be really easy to land from then on. Because has such a low gravity that is so fun. I believe one time I even did a rocket that I was using only the RCS thrusters that I could maneuver around, and it was so fun. It was like swimming in the sea, just like a submarine. So finally found a good landing spot. It's also because Minmus has a rotates about itself, so this adds to a bit of more complications, like you could say, compared to the moon. But the gravity is lower, so you can always adjust yourself and decide on a nice path. This to look like eyes. Look at them, they're so happy finally visiting Minmus. because I started the career mode again, so it's the first landing. And funny thing is, I already been to Duna from this new one, the really nice lander. So yeah, that was the third stage, the lander. And as you can see, I used the Vernier Cup engines. I really love them because they go on the sides and they pack quite a thrust, quite a punch with them. And you can just put them like this, and they will provide the thrust that you need. I limited the thrust because they were quite high for Minmus, but I realized now that yeah, that would be better if I put it 200 and just control it with my throttle. I'm planning as smooth as the landing that I wanted, and I remember I was just waiting for the speed. As you can see, yep, just doing some quite harsh throttles there. Should always just watch how your speed is going down when you're landing, just in case you're not too close. So now I got a good control over my spacecraft, and I see my surface speed is just going down quite, I would say, relatively slower as compared to some other places I've landed. And I know that if I'm close to the surface, I can just throttle up and I will decelerate really quickly. That's the beauty of Minmus. So I will just fast forward the landing because I can time warp while I'm less than 1000 meters. And because I cropped my video, you cannot really see the height on top. Hopefully it won't happen in the future. So finally we're going there, and it's such a beautiful sight with the shadow on the right and the slow throttles. I'm trying as smooth as a landing I can, and should be easily done. Always try to aim less than 1. It's just funny because at times you cannot really do it, and at times you can. So Minmus is one of the places to practice that. And here we are, we've landed on Minmus. Now we'll just do some science and have enough delta V. I guess, yeah, 300, above 300 is enough to escape from Minmus to return back to Kerbin. And if not, we have to do some kind of rescue mission. Do a crew report and do some science. And yeah, we're done. Did a crew report and we'll do some science. And basically, this is the path to Minmus, and the return is quite easy. But for this video, I will just end this here because it's my first video and my first trial that I'm making with adding a voiceover over it. Hopefully in the future I can keep doing this. So please be on the lookout, and in a good way. Please watch out for my future videos, and I hope you enjoyed this one. If there's any suggestions, please leave them in the comments. I would really appreciate this. Yeah, so this is basically KSP traveling to Minmus, doing some science, and going back. Thank you for watching, guys, and I hope you come back in again for my future videos.